We've seen a lot of people out there using these Olive Nation extracts to make hard seltzers, to make beers, all sorts of stuff. It's very prevalent in the YouTube world because they reach out to a lot of YouTubers and ask if we can review their products. Likewise, they reached out to us, and we bit, but we wanted to make sure we did our due diligence and really found out what was going on with these before we gave you a full review on them.
Yeah, and for most of the flavors that we received on this, we did kind of gear it a little bit towards the actual seltzer usage, but not very many of them we actually found that we wanted to use in beer. There was just, it wasn't as congruent as we would have liked for most beer flavors.
So before we get into all that, let's talk about the ones that we really found were a fantastic flavor right out the gate and that we would recommend using immediately if you have to get them. The first one that I think is just an amazing flavor that, you know, just kind of we came across on the website and we're like, we've got to try this. That's this princess cake right here.
Oh man, the princess cake is delicious. And it's one of those things, it's a regional dish. If you don't know what a princess cake is, look it up because we're not going to explain it to you. But it's delicious. It tastes like a princess cake, and this is a really good flavor that actually can go across all mediums, using it as a cake or a cookie flavoring, or for confectionaries along with seltzers, pastry stouts. It could probably go in really well. I think we wanted to use it in a white stout.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good in that.
Yeah.
It's got a subtle hint of like lemoniness, but just that nice doughy, crackery kind of underlay.
Very much cake.
Yeah.
It is what it describes.
And the flavor's phenomenal on it. Some of the flavors that we didn't necessarily care for as much as other flavors that we've used, not that they were bad, just not quite what we're used to when we use flavors, were a lot of the standard berry flavors.
So we got this plum in, and the plum actually, it's very sharp in there, and it took us a long time to figure that out. This is one of these that we're still playing with, and it would be a little bit overpowering in beer. But we ran across this Georgia peach flavoring, and this thing, oh man, this is delicious.
So the Georgia peach came in a product called Flavor Fountain, which I've seen other people use Flavor Fountain products. When you first put them into your seltzer or your beer or whatever, they are obnoxiously bright colored. However, they also have xanthan gum in them, when xanthan gum is a natural clarifier.
And what that does for you is that will just drop it out nice, bright, and clear, as long as you give it enough time to do that. And it doesn't take much time. That was one thing when we were playing around with the Georgia peach. We put it into a 12-ounce glass, and within about 30 minutes, the glass was
stratified.
Huge layer of bright neon orange on the bottom for that peach.
And the peach was subtly sweet. It had a nice, rich flavor behind it. And so my first thought when it came to how to use that would be a peach Bellini style. And we also found on Olive Nation's website that they have a sparkling wine flavoring. So those two are a natural marriage, and we made this seltzer right here. Let's talk about our base for seltzers that we use.
The base is pretty darn simple on that. It's gonna be sugar and water. The sugar that we like to use is dextrose. Dextrose is fully 100% fermentable. It ferments out clean without any extra flavors or anything. That way we can just have some nice pure product to begin with.
We're doing some experiments involving Lutra and proper pitch nutrients, but our standard go-to recipe right now is actually using a French Saison and a multi-stage nutrient addition using fermate O and diammonium phosphate.
Also some yeast energizer in there. The one that we have is Nutravita end, but any yeast energizer just to make sure it's nice and healthy. And then also scabub it with some oxygen. You really want to get a large amount of oxygen in there because it's just water and sugar and it doesn't have all of the other beerness to hold on to the oxygen as much. You do want to hit it a little heavier on the oxygenation side than you normally would.
100% honest, this end final product, this peach Bellini style hard seltzer we made is fudging delicious. It's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, some of them we're kind of skeptical on right now. We've got their bacon flavor here. We've got the rosemary flavor here. In their concentrate form, they smell a little bit aggressive, maybe a little bit off-putting. But that's not to say that's not going to change and evolve. If we dilute them out into a full beer, that might open up their flavor expression a little bit differently. So the only way to find out is to really just test it and see what happens.
We have also used their peanut butter flavoring. The peanut butter flavor fountain. And this makes sense talking about the xanthan gum. That beer, it was a Reese's Puff Porter, so we put peanut butter flavor into it. And that beer dropped crystal clear too because of the xanthan gum. And that was actually a really, really awesome peanut butter flavoring.
So go ahead and give these a try if you're interested. The flavor fountains, I think, are just kind of a consistent product, and they are obnoxiously colored in the bottle themselves. But when you let them sit out, they turn this. Seriously, this is super, super clear.
No filtration.
Brown's gonna get some B-roll on his own time. That's this video. We were just wanted to show you this and talk about our seltzer recipe. But we are gonna be doing a side by side, talking about our current seltzer recipe versus 3 other attempts at a seltzer recipe using common techniques that are being used and popularized right now. And we'll let you know if we're geniuses and just found the right one off the bat, or if something else might be even more viable than what we're doing. Subscribe to our second channel if you don't want to watch that, because it's not going to be on that channel, it's going to be on this channel. But also, we need that 1,000 subscribers. Good there, subscribe.
Subscribe to our channel.
This one too, yeah.
At both channels.
Both of them.
But
Instagram's a thing. Ryan has an Instagram. He's got a TikTok. He's pretty nerdy. He just plays video games all the time.
Yeah.
He's
It's kind of
probably
fun to watch him, though, you know.
He's probably overlaying a small clip of one of his TikToks.
No, read his back.
More than likely it's right over my face.
Probably.